See, when your wife was saying something, she said something very important relating to our value system, relating to our moral, because these are some of the things that the children were supposed to learn in school. And of course, it goes beyond that. If we were to look at Africa before we ever encountered the European, there was still educational system in that children were not just born and thrown into the society like that. They were
Yeah.
educated, even though it was not a university education or a type of education where you need to write on a chalkboard. But there is a way, because education is nothing more than passing useful information to you so that you can become a better person in the society. So all this have been done. Even animals do educate themselves if we really want to go that way. So actually, where I'm going is that since this is how the situation have turned out in Nigeria, it has become imperative that people like you have to intervene. So we are now talking of what we want to refer to as community education. So by community education, what do we really mean by this? Can you help us to understand this?
Yeah, by community education, we are actually talking about, going to the communities and, going to the communities and actually doing some advocacy programs. So we have various kind of advocacy programs, and also we do a lot of, like skill acquisition programs, because back in those days, we used to have school, we used to learn first in the primary school what you call art and craft. You understand? Everybody is expected to take that. And along the line, some children discover their skill for handiwork. So for those kind of kids, they can easily instead of going to the secondary school, they go to technical schools. You understand? So they become automobile engineers, aeronautic engineers, and all whatnot. You understand? But now everyone is being forced to go to a particular line. You understand? So it's like the government does not have some kind of direction. We cannot all be office workers. You understand? We cannot all, if we have a proper plan, you understand? You will understand that there are some of our children that have to be taught. I mean, we need to know the number of pilots that we need, the number of engineers that we need at a particular time, the number of medical doctors that we need at a particular time, the number of technocrats that we need at a particular time. But now everybody is just being forced, just go on, get a degree, and then you understand. And in most cases, you discover that most of these guys, they don't even care what degree they get. You understand? So as far as they're concerned, even if you have a degree in history, you can work in the bank. Even if you have a degree in Arabic knowledge, you can go on to become a banker. You understand, or become So those are, But I think we need to get some of these things right. So for us, what we do is we do some advocacy programs, teaching children on how to be good citizens, teaching them soft skills on how to, safeguard themselves, how to protect themselves against rape, against abuse, you understand, against being influenced into becoming drug addicts and all that. You understand? So we go around to teach them that. And then we discover that a lot of our problems in the country, societal problem, is tied down to poverty. You understand? It's tied down to poverty. That's why a parent will rather decide to send his child to go and sell granite on the street, or to go and hawk, sell bottled water in the traffic, rather than send them to school. But what we're saying is this: look, if even the parents are empowered to learn a skill or that, even if you lost your job, your formal job, if you lost your job, and you have some kind of skill, you can actually start a business and be able to train your kids and cater for your family. So those are some of the things we go about in communities to teach them about sanitation, environmental health, mental health, and a lot of other things. Those are the kind of things we teach them. In most cases, some of these things, they only touch them on the surface in the schools. That's if they do at all. They just scratch the surface, and most of the things they teach them are just theory and no practical. So we, on our part, we try to go into those communities, teach them some of these core values, and try to see how we can make the community a better place. We also advocate against things like early child marriages, which also have its own set of problems, especially for the girls. Well, the girl will not finish her education. You understand? She become a liability to the society because she's very unproductive to the GDP. Okay, and also there are a lot of health issues attached to this. We have need to go and do some charity work for girls, women suffering from VVF. My wife will talk about that later. Thanks.
All right, thank you very much for that. Well, before your wife talks about that, in fact, this question also might also be for you, madam. There is a saying that it might take two people to give birth to a child, but it takes the community to educate this child. Which means education, as far as we are concerned as a people, is something that we do collectively. It's a responsibility that we put together to be able to educate a person. And there is there is a lot of angle to this, in that if you fail because maybe it's not your child, you're supposed to correct a child, you refuse because it's not your own child. If that child become an armed robber, it's not going to become an armed robber only to the parents. It become an armed robber to you too, even though you are not part of the family, because it then boils down to everybody. That is the societal responsibility, meaning the society has paid this individual, therefore the society must be prepared for the consequences. So this is where I come to value what you are doing so much. You are taking up a responsibility that was supposed to be maybe for the government. You are doing it, and I find a lot of value in it, really. So before we go to the question, like your husband was saying, can you explain to us how are the people responding? How are other people in the society responding to the job that you are doing? Please share that with us.
Some of the communities that we've gone to, they've been so appreciative. Because we enter a community and they don't even have water, they don't have clean water, and we're able to provide water for them. We enter into a community and there are no schools there. We're able to send the children to schools in nearby communities. So they've been so appreciative. We've been able to change some of their mindset too, and especially the girl child. The parents, some of them, sometimes these things, they don't understand it. It's been a traditional practice all the while. So it's a way of life for them. They don't understand these things. But we've been able, in some of these communities, we've been able to sit down with the head of the homes, with the head of the communities, and we have spoken to them. We've told them about the importance of education, especially for the girl child, and they've come to appreciate it. Some of them, yes, they've allowed the children to begin school. So I think for our work in the community, the impact has been great, and the acceptance has been great too.
Also, in addition to the acceptance, we have a lot of people joining us now, both as volunteers, and we have a lot of interns, especially from the crop of youth corpus. They see what we do in communities and they come talking to us that they want to join us. And honestly, some of them are joining us, they're learning from us, and they're doing very good jobs. And it goes beyond just this immediate environment. We have people working for us in Kaduna, in Abuja, that's in the northern part of Nigeria, in Yola, in Maiduguri, in Kano, in Zaria. So we have people working from all over, people who volunteer. We don't have enough resources to pay them salaries. We can't pay them allowances, but they are willing to do this. And we are happy that we're able to bring people on board, people who will probably take over from where we are going to stop. People will take over from what we are take over from us from what we are doing and take on this work, and take it to a larger, to a higher level. So we are happy the acceptance is good. And also we have, interestingly, we have people doing Hope Ambassadors job in Pakistan, in Bangladesh, in India. You'll be surprised. People who voluntarily, they just want to associate with Hope Ambassadors. They like what we are doing and they want to be part of it. So we have a lot of people out there in Kenya, in some other African countries. We have people who wants to be part of us and want to, continue doing what we are doing because they see value in what we do and they want to be part of it.